Yo, what's up? Good morning. Good morning. You're always first, man. You're always first. How we doing today? Hope we are doing well. Hope we are doing well. I'm doing pretty good. Just had breakfast. Now I am going to stream for a bit. Today we're going to be going over, just for fun, we're going to make a tier list of the best classes in the game. We're going to do that a little bit later on when we get more people in here. But I think, doing something like this is, just for fun because we're gonna get like a class balancing update soon. And we're also gonna get new classes as well in the near future. So just gonna make like a little tier list just to see how it is right now and then what it's gonna be like, after the patch. But we're gonna do that a little bit later on. And then other things I'm gonna cover today. I think I found a date for the U Mushroom giveaway. It's probably gonna be 1 week from now. I'm gonna make an announcement for that in my Discord. But yeah, if you guys come, in a week, it's gonna be the giveaway day for the U Mushroom. But other than that, like this week has been really chill for this game. Like we didn't really get any sort of update. So I'm hoping that next week we get something. The apparently the update, it was just to reveal like or just to like basically change the raffle rewards for some of these stuff. Like all this stuff, right? I think that's all the the update was really for. I mean, some of the stuff is all right? Like I think these glasses are kind of cool. I remember when I was like super young, way back in the day, these glasses, I really wanted them in the cash shop. But let's see the other stuff. Nice. I know that some people got some luxury pets from the coin, like it's like some giveaway that they did. I didn't do it, but maybe I should have because I saw a lot of people get get these luxury pets. They give out a lot of them too. But some people they might have gotten like a vac pet on theirs, or some people got like auto buff. It was a pretty good giveaway event that they did. Yo, what's up, King? How we doing today? Hope you're doing well, bro. Another great day. It's good to hear. A pretty chill day. I was editing a video earlier and I ate some breakfast, and now we're just gonna play a little bit and stream a little bit. Honestly, I don't really have like a ton of motivation to play this character because it's not my main. So I'm not really grinding as much lately, and then there's not a lot of other content to do currently in the game, because then once you do your bosses, and then it's really just grinding and all that. But okay, I mean, grinding this character is like whatever's for me. It's really just to make money. Do I PQ or do I just grind and boss? I do not do any PQ. I think that if you're like a free to play player, or you like doing that type of content, then you should do it. But for me personally, I just don't do it because that's not what I like to do. How much NASO am I making for this current map? I'm making about 320 ish, 320K an hour. But I mean, that's gonna go down after the event ends. It's gonna get cut by 50%. So it's not gonna really be you know consistently the same rates. But I think that later on, they'll make it so that you can still make like good money in different ways. Like the nasal drops won't be as good, but they'll probably make it so that the monsters drop other stuff. Felt that eating good with my oh yeah, that's pretty nice actually. 3 weapons in a week is pretty good for the meals. I never hit the weapons anymore. Oh, also today we you've been doing like the weekly content. We got our loot today too, so that's pretty nice. I mean, every time the reset or the money day comes, everything just gets obliterated. But I think that some items have found a floor, even though it's kind of like the CRAs especially. It's kind of gotten like it gets obliterated and then it just gets bought back up. So people are you know able to get CRA equipment a lot more easily now because of that. Does skip cooldown ability is it better than boss on Shadower? I think that if we get the 3 minute changes in fifth job, the skip ability could be better than boss damage. But if we get the 2 minute changes, then the boss damage can be better. But you want to be really simple and make it really easy. The boss damage is easier to use, but the skip cooldown is also really good. Do I think Ice Lightning 1 attack speed, 10 boss damage, 17 crit? I don't know if it's worth 20 mil, but the thing is those lines are really good. But that's just for like playing, right? That's not counting like all the any equipment that it comes on. I don't know if it's worth it, but those inner abilities are really good. But you know the ice lightning they need buff duration. That's probably like more important at the end of the day. So then you would probably roll off the boss damage and try to get buff duration, but I mean your odds of hitting it is gonna be pretty hard. Every pet has that nasal. No, it doesn't. You need a magnet pet effect. A magnet pet basically. My monkey has, or actually the U mushroom has it, but on my main the monkey has it. You need the skill is called magnet effect, and then you get a really good pickup range. But I mean they're pretty expensive, so if you want it, just get the U mushroom, or you come back next week, and then we're gonna do a giveaway. I'm gonna give out one U mushroom. Just see if you can get lucky. What's the best way to level up? I'm 165 with my Paladin. Feels kind of slow. I see so many people go way faster. Is it skill or a class issue? Honestly, it's probably because you're not one-shotting. That's like the biggest thing whenever you grind. If you're not one-shotting, then grinding is just very very slow. Like the threshold to get to that one shot is like a very big one because you go from making like maybe 75 maybe 50% to like 100%, so that's very important. And then there's some other stuff like having good rotation and picking the right maps and stuff like that is also very important. But it just really depends on like where you're at in the game. Do bishop have any minimum requirement to support higher difficulty bosses, or do people take you no matter what? You're 200 bishop. It depends on the party because a lot of parties actually they do need damage. So you know, s- I would only really take a bishop that is minimally geared if I really needed the extra damage. They do provide a lot of damage to the whole party, but people are primarily, at least at the end game, looking for like another DPS. The only time they would take it is if they're lacking a little bit of damage in their party. They're just willing to take anyone that they can get. But the thing is, even if you are like minimally geared and stuff like that, you still have to learn the boss mechanics as well. So like you can't just go in and do the boss with no gear. Like you have to also learn as well. And finding a party that is willing to take you, through the learning process is probably not gonna be easy to find. So just keep that in mind, Like it just depends at the end of the day. Isn't Bishop terrible? Not necessarily. I know one person that has already cleared Lotus with Bishop. Bishop is not like a super weak class by any means. They're just not as good as other classes. Like the way that they are like the way their damage is distributed is different because they gain more damage when they have more people in the party. And they also provide more damage as more people in the party because it's just more value that way. How did you level at 170? Let me see where I leveled. I probably leveled at this fucking map. I leveled to at this map right here, the 2F Cafe, until I couldn't level it anymore, and then I just went to Twilight Perion. How's Paladin endgame? Grinding power bossing with party, not soloing. I mean Paladin is super good in the endgame. It's just they don't do that much damage, is it? But they have good party utility. So they can bind Damien. I mean their biggest thing in the end game is being able to bind Damien and Magnus. Those are the two things that they can do really well at the end game. And other than that, they also provide like IED and combat orders. So then in return they give their whole party damage as well. Like it's actually pretty crazy what a paladin that is like they can be ungeared, right? So I go into a run with my paladin for my friend, and like he's pretty strong, so he can like solo CPAP, but then just me being in the party and just helping him out with binding and like giving support, it makes the clear extremely easy. And also like just talking about supports as well, like for Bishop, right? My friend, I let him, well, I gave him my holy symbol meal on his account so that he can go on my Damien runs with me, right? And he literally all he does is gives me 10% FD plus the IED, right? And then it makes my Damien's, like, it's not really a solo, but I'm doing all the damage, right? But it makes the Damien clear like super easy compared to if I were just to do it by myself. Like it goes from being like a 27-minute run to maybe like a 25-minute run ish. So it's like a lot faster, and then I'm also not like struggling the whole time to do all these things because then the support that they provide. That's like for a class that's not even doing anything, like except giving final damage. 185 can one shot at Twilight Parent. Yeah, I mean honestly, like the biggest hurdle for newer players and free to play players is getting to the point where you can one shot mobs is actually really important because your rates are really bad if you can't one shot, but like before you get to that point, it's pretty rough, honestly. Like that was actually my first priority when I was starting this game is getting to the point where you can one shot, because at least like you can one shot, like it's way better to be able to farm than it is to boss, because farming is like very consistent to make income, right? Right now in at least you do the daily bosses, it's actually like pretty inconsistent because like sometimes you just don't get anything. But with farming you will always get a consistent income. But the money isn't as good in the early game. When you get to where I'm at right now, the money is actually pretty decent. Like 320k is not that bad. That's enough to be able to progress like pretty well in my opinion. Like if they always have these rates, like you don't make progress like every day, but like every week you'll get something, and every month you'll for sure get something if you just play a lot. And to pick up a good class, I love camera skills also in games. I mean, like, yeah, Paladin is good. Just know that their solo bossing is not that great. And then they could feel a little bit weak, but I mean, they provide a lot of support. And I think if you're like a free to play or you're a player that isn't really trying to spend that much money, then you should be playing a support class regardless. The way I see it is you're trying to play a carry class, you gotta spend carry money. Otherwise, you're not really the carry, you know what I mean? But I mean, like the thing is, like even like for example, like Shadow, right? Like they are a class that also provides like some sort of support, um, but it's just not as good or consistent as the other classes. Is it not worth to do Ghost Park? I mean, if you don't mind doing the content, then and it helps you maybe make some more money, then you can do it. I just personally don't do it because it's not something I like to do. That's it. Like it's probably worth it if you're like a free to play player. But for me, I just like to boss and I just like to grind, because then those are the things that I like to do. Even in like GMS or whatever, I I I don't like some of the content in that game, and I just wouldn't participate in it. But I would always grind and I would always boss because I think that's what makes the game fun. But I think that if you're definitely a newer player and you need to like be able to get like funding or neophyte or whatever, then you got to do the PQs. But I mean, I'm just saying like your odds are not good. So like I personally don't like doing it. It's just the one way you can get it without spending money is to try to get lucky and do those type of contents. I mean, I have seen people hit them. It's just very unlikely. personally feel like Ghost Park isn't really that good for money. You make more in Evil Lab and has lower level requirement. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you know more than me about that stuff because I haven't even done Ghost Park. I don't even know what it is like, honestly. I just know that the way that you get, secondaries and um like all those items like Neoplasm and stuff, you just have to do PQs and shit like that. Should I prioritize Star Force enhancement or potentials on Ball Neon? I probably just get everything to like 5 through 10 stars at most for the Star Force, and then you should probably prioritize the cubing first because like Star Forcing doesn't really give you that much damage until you get past 15 stars, and getting to 15 stars is pretty expensive. So I would try to get everything to at least like unique or legendary, and then I would push Star Forcing to 16 or 17 star. I mean, you can just get everything to like epic or unique at first. Do Mulong, bro. You top two, you'll get medal with 10 boss damage. I have done it on my main. Last week I got number one, but right now I for sure will not, will not get number one because the rank or the number one dojo guy, he's actually so fucking juiced. This guy has 2 22-star items. Like I was like, what is going on? This guy is. I'll just see if I can find his thing. It's so freaking crazy. Like actually curious how much this guy spent on his account because he is insanely juiced. And he started training a lot too, you know? This guy is crazy. Look, this is a 22 star. This is a 22 star. This is not 22. This is a 21 star. Like his items are better than mine in every single way. You know what I mean? 20 star. I think he spent like 2,000 on this. I mean, this guy just has a crazy account. So I would never be able to surpass this guy unless I just spend, you know, everything or something. Well, I mean, like I don't really even like doing dojo that much. It's like 5 to 10% boss damage is nothing really too crazy for me because like I already am able to solo all the bosses in the game, right? I don't need to push my damage anymore. And they're like the future boss content, right? Is gonna be Lotus and Damien, like H Lotus and H Damien. But I don't even know if all the systems inside the current game that we have right now, that's enough damage to be able to even do those bosses. Because those bosses have like 25 times the HP of regular or normal, right? That means you would need to be able to solo Lotus and Damien within like 6 minutes to be able to contribute in a 6-man party. So I don't even think that we're gonna be able to do that anytime soon. But I could be wrong. Like maybe the damage requirements could be a little bit lower, but like I feel like we're pretty capped, I'm like insanely capped in terms of everything. The only thing I really need to do is maybe min max a few of like my pots, maybe. But like in terms of like star forcing, like yeah, I can push everything more. It's just very expensive to push past 17 stars, and it's probably not even worth it for the majority of people. Like you can do so much content without having to push past 17 push past 17 star. Yeah, like as long as you min max all of your pots and all that, and just go 17 star, you can do every single piece of content in this game. But the one thing I did learn about doing dojo is you do it, you get like some sort of like spa shit or something like that where you can like sit in there and you just get like EXP. But I don't know if it's good. So if someone knows if it's good, then let me know. But I know that you get like passive EXP just for sitting in that map. I mean, I've done it in GMS before, but I remember like I didn't get any like thing meaningful in terms of EXP from that. So I was like, oh, maybe it's really not that good anyways. But I mean, it might be useful if you're gonna be AFK for like the day or something, and then you did dojo or something like that. When am I gonna do a giveaway pet? I'm gonna do it probably a week from now. So it's gonna be like 1 week exactly from now, and it's gonna be on that day. Like the stream is gonna be on that day, and I'll do a giveaway for the U mushroom. It's the one I got from the beta. I mean, right now, I actually find it very interesting because I've been looking at the U mushroom floor and it's slowly going up, which means that people are buying it. I don't think people are buying on it to speculate. I think people are buying on it to like actually use it. So that's like an indicator to me that people are actually like trying to play the game. But the price of all the items are it's not so great right now. That's all I say. But actually, the one nice thing about items going down in value is that if you were like, trying to fill out your NFT collection, it makes it a little easier. Then before it was like I wouldn't really want to fill out like at least like the Necromancer or Von Leon gear because it was too expensive, to fill out your NFT collection. But now it's definitely more affordable to put those into your collection. Damn rings secondary are superior. Oh yeah, I think it's because the rings are just like every single class needs them, and it's just the fact that they're so valuable. Like like every single person needs 2 neophyte rings. Uh and then the secondary just depends on what class you play. The secondary is super duper good though, it's like the thing that you need the most, honestly. It's probably more important than the weapon. Let's see. When nasal 2x event ends, do you think price will go down or will they stay the same? I mean, in theory, in theory, like the event going away, it should like in theory bring down the enhancement prices at least, right? I don't know what it'll do to the price of NXPC. I don't really think it'll do anything. I think that the bigger thing is when the fusion or fission system comes out, that's probably gonna influence the price of NXPC a lot more than the event. Because like I don't think that, at least if you look at on the analytics, right? At least this is what they are saying is, or just what it shows is that more NXPC is coming in than going out. Like there's a net inflow, you know what I mean? So that means like the majority of people are probably not, you know, selling their NASO, you know what I mean? Let's see. Backpacks are like 40 mil. Yeah, I think they went down a little bit because of they did like a giveaway for some luxury pets, so people are just trying to sell them. Honestly, like the more that the backpacks come down, that's better because if people want to pick up a perma one, it's like a good thing. What have you been doing as the NXPC price went down? Selling into AVAX potentially could rebuy. Oh yeah, I mean yeah, you are predicting that NXPC goes down, then yeah, it's like basically taking like a short position. I think MSU made a mistake by doing limited supply for basic equipment. They should have only done very limited quantity for cash shop cosmetics dots. I don't really know how to feel about the limited item supply and all that stuff. I mean, like what I will say though is that it's been pretty unfun to deal with the dynamic enhancements, I do personally like the way that they did it in the Web 2 version a lot more as well. But I mean, like, the game's only been out for not even 2 months yet, and maybe they need a little bit of time to readjust everything to make it work out. But like, I think that the big issue that some people have is like they do bosses and they don't get any items, right? Like, I think that's like a big issue. But the thing is, if everyone can get items, and the items that you actually do end up getting, they won't be worth anything. That's why this event, the drop system that they changed, it kind of fucked up the price for everything. Like, yeah, items are more affordable, but now when you get the drop, it's like, it's gonna inflate anyway, so you might as well just sell it because it's gonna go lower the next week. You're not late for the tier list. I'm gonna probably do it in like 30 minutes or so. Let's see. The supply of cosmetics too high and limited basic equips to 75 just capture player base. I mean, the thing is, like, if it becomes a problem where people are genuinely like don't have enough items, then I'm pretty sure they'll like find a way to address it. But then, like, as it is right now, there's more than enough items for everyone to like even use in the game. You know what I mean? I don't really know if this is a good system. Like, it doesn't. Like, if I had to guess, it's not a good system because it's just I don't know. There's just like a lot of things wrong with it. You know what I mean? I would have loved if whenever you didn't get anything from boss, you got a pity currency that you can exchange for like potions. Oh yeah, I mean that's actually not a bad idea. You know, that's a pretty good idea. Like just some potion or even like honor. You know, like getting a little bit of honor is not even that bad. Yeah, get ready to fucking screenshot this shit. It's my binds. But I mean, like the thing is, you should just use the binds that you find comfortable. For me, it worked out this way because I don't know. You ever played League? I kind of think of it like kind of like League binds. No, I do agree. Like sitting inside of a boss for like 30 minutes and then you get nothing, it's pretty foul. Especially like okay, like back then, right? Like when you did the daily bosses, like it actually felt worth it to just try to do a min clear because you were probably gonna get something. You know what I mean? But then like now, I think as like a free to play or a newer player, it must feel so bad like to go into the game or into the boss and then you do the boss for like 20 minutes, you know what I mean? And you get nothing because you work so hard for it. Like it really doesn't make sense, you know? Like it's pretty bad for free to play or new players. So like it's I don't know, it kind of drives them away. That's why I wouldn't be surprised if one day, they move away from at least pegging NXPC to NASO because right now it's very hard to scale NASO, right? Like there's no power creep in this. Like the thing is they can't scale the NASO anymore. Otherwise they like risk inflation too much because it's pegged to NXPC. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just think that one day maybe they'll unpeg NASO but maybe like readjust like the system in a little bit. I don't really know what the best solution is, but I mean like it is like a weird system. Like I like the Web 2 version more like in terms of like yeah, at least you boom, but like at least like how much you're paying for each enhancement and it's gonna devalue like whatever, but I don't know. Let's see. All right, I'll do a gear review for you, sure. I mean, I'm not really super happy with the system as well, but I mean, we don't know how it's gonna play out in the long term. Can you review my gear? He aimed for slow CRA, not Vela, minimum budget. I would tell him to rewatch your stream. Yeah, I'll do a quick rundown. What is this gear though? What the heck is this? All right. Okay, right now he has 0 IED, so you gotta switch some stuff for IED. What I would do is I would probably just change this pot, try to get IED on it. Or I mean, this is okay-ish. This is also, I mean, you just keep this for now, but like, it's probably better if you get one line of IED and then get like boss attack or boss. But this is kind of expensive to do. So I would roll this. You have no IED between the three of those lines right now. But other than that, like, decide if he wants to go CRA or you can go Von Leon. To be able to solo CRA, you probably need some 17 stars. So, got a 17 star this, and then you go Von Leon, then you got a 16 or 17 star that as well. And then get this. I mean, you can keep this for now, but maybe get this to 16, 17 star as well. And then you gotta push everything up to unique 2 line. So then you have a lot of accessories right here that are like still epic. Yeah, that's it. So basically change this to IED. Maybe swap to Von Leon, get everything to unique 2 line, and then 16, 17 star some of the gear. That should be enough. You're gonna buy Sierra and all day bash? Okay, so then what I would do is I would consider switching out the shoes, cape, the belt, and then just 16, 17 star, like the new items that he gets. And then get everything to unique 2 line. Maybe a boss pity system where you can get 100 boss even if you fail, so you can choose one. At the end of the day, you don't feel bad for failing at the month. I think that it'd be nice that if you do fail, then it like stacks some sort of like you basically have a higher chance next time. I think something like that could be good. But I'm not sure how they would implement it, but that's not a bad idea. So you're kind of guaranteed something over a long period of time, you know? I feel like whenever new bosses come out with bigger rewards, they'll be rolling out some fees or nasal minting or stuff to balance it out. You know, the thing that I think is weird is like if they do like let's say they release like hard Lotus, hard Damien, it's like I feel like the rewards do have to be better than normal Lotus, normal Damien, and then when they roll out Arcane River, like Lucid, it should be more than hard Lotus, hard Damien too. And I think that's just hard for them to give out more and more rewards when in theory it's supposed to be like less NXPC is supposed to be minted out every year or whatever like that. I just don't know how that's gonna work out in the long run. Why gold nuggets but not blood? The gold ones they spread more. So it's easier for me to farm. The does plus 2 stat per 10 level is the best B pot. It's pretty good. I don't know if it's the best one, but it's good enough to use. You probably want percent stat, plus 2 per 10 or some attack or magic attack. Just depends on your class. Yeah, there's already a 50 mil naso from normal lows. Yeah, that is a pretty nice reward, but the thing is, it's just not guaranteed. That's the only thing that sucks. It just sucks that um like I think it sucks for a person that is like newer coming into the game, right? Because the thing is, like they would have to do the boss, but then they pretty much are not guaranteed to get anything at all, right? While in like GMS, like yes, you have like unlimited rewards or whatever, and then like you can always make money every week, and like our items get devalued. But the thing is, like I think that is a better system than it is right now because like at least you are guaranteed to get something and it makes it like you're progressing in some way. Yeah, I don't know. Like that's why I feel like maybe one day they'll depeg and ASO. Like honestly, just that shit, just let that shit get cooked. I don't actually know if that's what they would do, but I don't really know like a good solution because like I'm thinking like down the line 5-10 years down the future, like it doesn't make sense for Arcane River to not give a lot of money. It just doesn't make sense. They could have just had Nessa be in game only and Raffles be NXPC. Yeah, something like that could also be fine. Can you review character? Ted, I don't know if I should finish secondary or complete Volnia boss set for better gains. Yeah, I'll help you out. I'll help man's out, and then I'll use the bathroom real quick, and then okay. Your question is, you want to finish the secondary or complete Volnia slash boss set for better gains? Okay, let's look at your things right now. Uh, okay, you're planning on sticking with CRAs, right? I mean, not CRAs, Von Leon, right? You're not thinking about swapping over to CRAs, I'm assuming. I think right now, actually, the best use of your money is to get the rest of your equipment and then upgrade all those to like 6 through 9%, kind of like this, because you're missing a lot of stat because of that. Like your pots on your stuff are actually fine. Like I wouldn't even consider upgrading the secondary until you get maybe everything to like um epic or unique or so, and then you can maybe think about doing it. But what I would do is just get the rest of your boss accessories first and then focus on potentially swapping off the weapon for Von Leon. It's probably pretty hard to make it be better because you got to get to legendary. But since you're sticking with Von Leon anyways, then you should eventually try to progress there. You know what I mean? And then also the B pot on this isn't that good, so you do have a lot of damage to make. I just wouldn't touch the Necro anymore, and then just work on the Von Leon instead. I mean, the Von Leon and the Necro are pretty similar in terms of enhancement costs, but the the rest of your gear, I would say just get the boss accessories first. Yeah, I think that's what I would do for sure. Okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick and then I'll come back. All right, I'm back. You're asking if new players should buy three pet or build equip. You should buy equipment, man. The three pet is not gonna give you a lot of damage. It's really just to help you pick up money or you get auto buffs. What if they had gear raffles for NXPC and the enhancements were on NASO? Yeah, I think something like that could work out actually. But the thing is, I think they want to have like some sort of utility for NXPC, and the only real utility right now is the fact that you can swap NXPC for NASO. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they they get rid of that later on. Okay, frozen jelly. Let's see. Re-reviewing gear again. Let me know what I should do next. Okay. Oh, I spelled it wrong. I need to do fucking Jon Snow too. And let's go through this real quick. See the IED. 83. Your pots are pretty good. Right now, I think if I had to guess, you probably need to. What I would do is so I would try to fix all the pots. Like for example, like this pot, I would try to get this to unique. And then anything that is legendary, try to get it to like a fake like a three line. So you would go like 12, 9, and 6 for the pot. And then some of your B pots are already pretty good. So I would just keep those. And other than that, let's get the rings if you can. The rings are pretty important. If you can only afford the if ring, then get the if ring. But then other than that, like I would just get all of your after you fix all your pots, right? I would get all of your gear, like your belt, shoes, gloves, cape, uh, overall weapon, like basically anything that can get to a 16 star, get them all to 16 star, 16 or 17 star. And then I mean I mean your character's pretty good, like you have everything going on that you need. Yeah, right now it's just fixing the pots and then just get everything at 16, 17 star. Let's see. Quick question. What's the difference between silver and maple gold emblem? So the gold emblem, the best thing about it is that it can this is not a good example, but I'll just show you my character. Basically, on my character, you can get like 12% on the B pot and 12 and 9% on the like the second line. So the prime line is 12 and then the second line is 9. But on the silver emblem, it's 966. So then it's just not as good like later down in the line. The only thing is the silver emblem, you can get really good IED on it. So then You need IED, like the silver emblem is fine, but just know that it scales off pretty hard later down the line. Speed infusion or sharp eye? I think that for your class, speed infusion is probably better, but I could be wrong, honestly. I don't know. I watched on YouTube, they said 8 crit damage is 30% stat. Yeah, that's about I mean, yeah, that sounds about right. Crit damage is super good. That's why when you hit like let's say on your glove, right? I think actually if you went 8% crit damage and then 8% like I'm sorry, a decent sharp eyes on the second line, it's probably better than speed infusion. Well, I could be wrong, but also it's because your class you need a lot of crit rate and you don't have any. You actually don't benefit as much from the crit damage, but you also do need crit damage. I don't know. It's hard for me to say, but I think what you have right now is also fine. Okay. All right, I'm gonna do Jon Snow real quick. I think, then I will move on. All right, fix this pot. You gotta switch that to boss or attack. Switch this as well. I'm pretty sure I've done yours already. I told you what to do. Moving on to the next guy. Let's see. Who am I next? Who's next? No Kizaru. Okay, let's see. Also when you guys like you know, put in your IGN or whatever, like if you have any questions regarding your thing, it's probably better because then that way I have an idea of what you're trying to look for, you know what I mean? 26, 25. I think that you can just keep the speed infusion for now. But I mean, I'm not an ice lightning player, so I don't really 100% know. Um, so yeah. What should you do next? Let's see your stats right now. You don't have that much, so gotta see what we can do. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm assuming you're planning on sticking with Von Leon, right? That's what I'm assuming. Okay. What I would do is I would fix the pot for this. So instead of one line of IED and 9 luck, try to get one IED, one boss, or one IED, one attack, and then fix the B pot on this. This is probably the most important thing for you to do. But other than that, it's like I would just get all of your gear that is currently like this, right? It's not really usable. Just fix all the pots on them, like this especially, and then yeah, so basically all these are pretty decent. Okay, so I would just fix this pot, get your noble Ifia ring, and then get all of your pots on your accessories to unique. And then after that, get your belt, earrings, shoes, gloves, cape, basically anything that can get to 16 star, get them to 16 star. And then you'll be in a good spot. Yeah, basically make Naso and gamble. It's pretty much it. But yeah, that's pretty much all you gotta do. You just gotta fix your pots and then buy your ring and then upgrade everything. What should you use the Ember of Life? Uh, you should usually use it on the weapon, but I would only use it on the weapon if you feel like you're gonna use that weapon for a long time. But if you're not gonna use it on the weapon, then use it on the cup because the cup, let's say you hit a flame that you don't need, then you can at least sell it. Like let's say like it's like a good flame on a different for a different class, at least you can sell that one, you know? Let's see. Who's next? Takasugi. 185 Paladin. Okay, for you, like you have a lot of items, you just don't have anything potted. So what you gotta do is you just gotta get this pot, get it to epic or unique, and then also get the B pot done. So just get like some sort of usable. boss IED or attack on the B pot, get a percent attack. Same thing for the weapon. Get it to epic or unique, get percent attack or boss or IED, and the B pot as well. And then get all of your items, get them to epic, epic like 6% of your main stat, and then the B pot get it to 2% strength or 10 attack. And then same thing as your accessories. So just get all your pots done. And then after that, just get like your emblem. The emblem is probably the most important thing for you to get. And then just get your rest of your accessories. Yeah, cup is also best in slot forever. I mean, you're not gonna get a fucking book probably not in this game. Also for me, that's not gonna change CRA for short term. Better use Ember Life for Ball Neon. Um, I mean, I would personally try to use it on like the accessories first because you're gonna probably keep them longer. You would usually use the flames. Okay, like if you're gonna use the on the weapon for the Von Leon, that's fine. That's probably the most value if you hit a good flame on it in terms of damage. But you know, in terms of like the armor and stuff, I would just do it on the accessories first and then work towards the armor last. That way, if you do decide to use the CRAs later down the line, at least you you know, like at least you know don't use the flames on the Von Leon. Been here since 200. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've been moving up. You know, I've been moving up. But I'm trying to make more videos and stuff, especially because I think we're gonna get more content and all that stuff too. So it's gonna be more fun and enjoyable to make videos. I know it's just we don't really got too much content. You know what I mean? Okay, let's see who's the next guy I want to do. Alarm. Okay. Please review gear. Let's see. You have any other questions? Okay. Let's see. 8.6K. Okay, you have a pretty good inner abilities. What are we missing? IED. That's what we're missing right now. The gear is good. The gear is good, but what are we missing? Why do we not have any IED? Okay. Should I buy 300 mil Naso on? I have seen that weapon. Actually, that weapon is very, very good value. Actually, my friend was gonna buy that weapon if he didn't have his own because that weapon that I see is already 17 star, has legendary. Um, so that is not the worst idea. It will give you a lot of damage, and if you were to, you know, make it yourself, it would cost way more money. But you know, you'll have to think if you know you'll play the game for a long time because it's you know just really expensive. That's it. But let's see what else we can work on though. Yeah. I mean that's like your biggest gain, you know what I mean? Is redoing the getting a new weapon because you know you are missing a lot of IED, but other than that, it's getting all of your gear that you don't have to 16 or 17 star to 16 or 17 star. What I would do first though is I would get every single piece of equipment that you don't have a unique yet, get it to unique for the accessories. So that would be the earring, the pendant. I mean, that's just those two. And then get everything to 16, 17 star. And then you should be able to solo CRA very, very easily. Maybe even Vellum if you have the weapon. Why don't I enhance content? I really want to watch Cube or Star first. Honestly, I should enhance or Cube or whatever on stream, but I usually do it on the days I'm not streaming. But I don't know the next time I'm gonna be enhancing anything because my gear is already like pretty capped out. See what is who's the next person? Am I missing anyone? I don't know. I personally feel like the weapon is worth buying, but that's just my personal opinion. I'm not expecting most people to spend the money to do it. But I mean, this album is good, bro. Like, what is this? You just need like IED. You probably need like most optimals. You want at least 3 lines of IED. So keep that in mind too. Like, you want to do like harder content, you probably need more IED. See, what is your IG? Let's see, Winnie. You know what you can do is you can always bring like a bishop or a paladin meal if you have a friend. just buy a bishop or paladin mule and just let make them give you IED. That is honestly not even the worst idea. What is this? What is your class? Fire poison? 74 IED. Okay. I'm like pretty, I'm pretty sure that uh I don't know if crit gives you the most damage, but usually you want to find crit rate in different areas than your emblem. So, I would, this probably does give you decent amount of damage, but just know that it's not as good as if you had like magic attack or something. But I would fix the B pot on this right now. The B pot isn't that good. Since you have a legendary emblem already, you should probably push this up to epic. 6% magic attack. As well as this one to push the B pot, 6% magic attack. You can keep this for now, but also the same thing. B pot six pushes a 6% magic attack. And then I'm assuming, yeah, okay. So the rest of your gear, just get them all up to okay. Like if you ever have anything at legendary, always try to get at least 2 lines on it. If it's anything that's not an accessory, always try to get 2 lines on it. If it's an accessory, try to get 3 lines on it. Because then it's not that hard to hit. So like for example, like this, right? You should try to get 3 lines on it because it's you're already a legendary. Getting the 3 line isn't as expensive as you think it is. Uh, Yeah, so the next thing I would do is I would just get the rest of your items and push every single piece of item to unique 2 line at least, and fix the B pots and everything, and then star force everything at 16 and 17 star, and then you'll be pretty strong. Yeah, you can't solo chaos bosses a cool normal. I feel like you should be able to solo a lot of these bosses though. Okay, maybe not with the stat. Yeah, you need to fix your pots. That's why your pots are not that good in terms of stat. I'm gonna go to the next person. Tis. Do you recommend powerful eternal flame? Always use the red flame. Always use the red flame. The only time you would use the like the I don't know what color it is, but the rebirth flame, you would only really use that when you're like in the hyper late game and you really need a min max. That's it. But it's not even really worth it. Yeah, yeah, no problem, no problem. Thought you need more ignore defense. Nah, you need to just fix your pots. I think like that's the biggest thing. I mean, your items are good though, You just gotta fix everything to make it more usable. The IED, like you might need a little bit more IED, so you gotta fix the emblem potentially. But I would only do that once you fix your other pots, and then when you're trying to do CRA or whatever, you need to try to get 85% IED. But that's only in a party. Powerful is red flame. Yeah, do the red flames. Do the red flames. Always do the red flames. The other one it just costs too much. If it was like, I don't even know why it's 30 days for one fucking flame. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. It's way too fucking much, honestly. Should I push it more? Maybe start changing it? Okay. Okay. Okay, fix the B pot on this. 3% attack or 6% attack. What lower are you? Okay, right now it's probably not the worst time to swap over to Von Leon. It's probably something that is a good idea in my opinion because your pots are actually not the worst. So your next biggest gain is trying to get that Von Leon. And once you swap to Von Leon, it's getting everything like potable again, like usable. And then pushing everything to 16 stars. That's because right now you have no star force or anything, but your pots are actually decent. So anything that is like epic right now, I would also consider pushing that as well to unique 2 line. So just like these rings that you have. And the belt also try to get that unique. Uh yeah, so just I always look to start replacing it soon though. But the easiest and most, you know, optimal thing to do right now though is fix your B pot on this. I would get this to at least epic to 6% attack. What should you prioritize? Boss damage? Ignore it. I would get one more IED line, and then you should prioritize boss damage after that. Do bishops also need 85 IED? I have this doubt because of Angelic Wrath. Actually, the most okay, if you're doing Lotus or Damien, right? The most optimal IED to be at is 93%, right? So if you're a bishop, you want to do the most optimal damage is you got to be at least 89%. So then, you use your Angelic Wrath. That's a 44% I or defense ignored or something. So then that gets you up to around 93%. So 89 is like kind of the sweet spot. Even for me, like I on my character, I don't have 3 lines. I have 4 lines because I'm trying to solo Lotus and Damien. So the 4 lines in total gives me around 93%, which is like the sweet spot to be able to do the most optimal damage to the Lotus and Damien. But if you're doing just like CRA, CPAP, and all that stuff, you can get away with 85 through like 89%. That's completely fine. And if you're in a party with a paladin, you need even less. Yep, no problem, no problem. All right, all right. Let's do this fucking tier list, guys. Okay, so the criterias for this tier list is basically gonna be like how good the classes are right now in the game. Is not about how good they're gonna be in the future. Is how good they are right now, and it's primarily gonna be like how good they are in solo bossing, how good they are in farming, how good are they in a party. You know what I mean? Like how is their damage and all that. But just keep in mind, like I don't 100% know every single little thing about every single class. It's just, what I've heard from other people or from how I, perceive the class. So those are kind of like the criterias that I am making for this tier list. It's mostly, just to see a before and after when we get our balance changes, if they actually shake up the meta by any significant margin, or they're just gonna be like small adjustments. But let's start out with this. So I think Bishop, in my opinion, I feel like Bishop should at least be like an A tier because this class is really good at supporting. The only thing that it really doesn't do is it can't solo boss. Like it can solo boss, but I think if you're a newer player or you're a player that's not as well funded, you might think this class does no damage because it does do less damage than people than the classes that do have good solo bossing, but I think that they are, really good because they have super good farming. They are the fastest levelers in the game. I had a friend, he started at the beginning of the game. So, start fresh from scratch at level 0. And right now he's almost level 215. And I mean, he plays a lot, but he almost caught up to my level. And my main is level 216. I played in the beta. So, on top of, having good levels, good farming, good support, and even in bossing, their bossing is good because they can heal themselves, right? So, their angel ray gives them like you can heal with it. It's like kind of like lifesteal. So that means their survivability is super good. It's just their solo bossing is just the only thing that is like not that great about them. But I know I said that I wouldn't consider how good they are in the future, but they also have really good fit job as well. Let's see. The next class, Fire Poison. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know too much about the class, but I'm gonna say it's at least a B tier. And the reason why, even though I think that people think that this class might not be that good because they kind of have like a weird connotation that they're like a hacker class, but I think that they do pretty good damage and they have really good farming. The one thing I think that brings down this class though is the fact that they're really hard to play, and the majority of people that do play this class probably don't know what they're doing. So then the class is, it might not be for everyone, but I think that they do good damage and they have amazing farming. If you look at like any map at level 210 or above, right? All of them are just packed with fire poison because this fucking class is easy to farm with. So this is a good farming class, it's a good damage class. It's just hard as fuck to play. All right, I think for Ice Lightning, I don't even know where to put this because the thing is, before I thought Ice Lightning was really good because they had a bind, right? But then the bind value it goes up a lot if you have like the it's because Ice Lightning their bind is a 3-minute bind, which is actually pretty long when you compare it to Paladin. So I think that because their bind lasts is like it takes a long time for it to come off cooldown, their support isn't as good. But, it's very invaluable for bosses like Damien and, it helps in CPAP and Magnus and stuff like that. But I don't know if I would prefer having a Ice Lightning over a Bishop. I'd rather have a Bishop over an Ice Lightning because I think that the amount of damage the Bishop gives is more than the bind duration. Um, at least in my opinion, I think it is. Maybe in a six actually no, even in a six-man party, I think that Bishop still probably provides more than Ice Lightning. But I mean, like the fact that they have a bind is really what makes this class good. But they require a lot of resources. Like they require like attack speed +1, buff duration, crit rate. Like this class is hungry for stuff. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe they should go in B. Honestly, I don't know. I'm gonna put them in the top of B for now. But we'll see how maybe I'll readjust some things. Bowmaster, I'm gonna put this class in C. I think this class is kind of dog shit. I'm not gonna lie. Um, is okay. The only reason why I think they're not that good is because like the rank one guy for BM, right? Eh, it's because like think about it this way. This guy told me he's like 25k stat. He couldn't soul Lotus. Maybe it's a skill issue. Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe it's a skill issue. But the thing is, I think that the fact that this guy spent so much money and he can't solo Lotus with this class makes me feel like the damage isn't that good. And then when I look at other stuff, right, their farming is kind of mid because their farming comes really good in Fit Job, but right now they just have to hop around everywhere and attack, and their mobbing skill isn't that good, and their platter is like also like it doesn't do enough damage unless like you have a lot of funding. But on top of that, this class needs like hella crit rate. When they're the class that needs a lot of crit, right? So then on top of that, you need a crit rate +20. So then that's like an additional resource that they need, and it's hard to get that type of resource. So this class is the only thing that they do in a party is give 8% crit damage, which is good, But for all the cons and stuff like that, they are pretty bad in every single boss except they're maybe good in Lotus. They are yeah, they're pretty bad in every other boss. I can't really think of one other boss they're really good at. I just think Lotus is the the one that they probably succeed at the most. Okay. But on the contrary, I think that Marksman is actually pretty good. I don't know if they're better than Ice Lightning, but I think this class is actually good because they do things that Bowmaster can do, but like way better, right? So they have I think their farming is better because they can cover more area with their like just the way that their kit works, right? They have really long range, so they can cover like a like tri-plat type of stuff because they can just do like a drop down type of clearing. Their solo bossing is for sure better because they have a what you call it puppet. So the puppet is really good because it makes it so that like the majority of bosses, not every single boss, but a lot of bosses, they can use that puppet to taunt the boss, and it makes it super easy. Now, I don't really know how good their damage is, but I'm pretty sure it's better than Bowmaster. I've seen, some people say that it's better than Bowmaster. But they're basically just BM, but better because they just do more damage and they provide the same type of support. And they don't require. I mean, the one thing they do require though is they like attack speed +1. They like they like that extra crit rate as well. I don't know. I think maybe I'll put them right here. I think right here is a little bit better. All right, for Dark Knight, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think this class is ass. Like, if you're playing Dark Knight, I mean, I kind of feel bad for you. I'm not gonna lie. Like, this class is like, it has a lot of the same problems that Bowmaster has, like where it needs a lot of resources, right? It needs It needs buff duration, it needs attack speed, it needs like crit rate, it needs all these things, right? On top of that, they don't really even provide any other type of support, you know. So I don't think that this class is that good. They need a cooldown head, they need this and that. They just need too much, you know? Like they need too much for what they do. And I think that needing a lot of resources right now and being a class that is, not amazing, that is something that, it's hard to get those type of things, you know what I mean? So I'm just gonna put this at the bottom. I think that they might be honestly the worst, honestly. But I could be wrong, you know? It could be, either one of these 2. Oh, that's true. Bowmaster does get good survivability because of blood arrows, so that does make them have a easier time bossing, but, I mean, I'm not sure if that, gives them too much of an edge over other classes right now. Um but Paladin, I mean, I think this class is, this class is crazy, honestly. I mean, I think it might be better than Bishop right now in terms of the support it provides, right? Because yes, Bishop does provide like a ton of support, like gives you good damage, all this and that, right? But Paladin also does the same thing, but it has a bind, you know what I mean? So the only thing I think that the biggest difference is besides, um some of the like healing stuff that Bishop does, Paladin doesn't do that. But what in return they do is they give like decent combat, or sorry, combat orders gives you, just a little bit more damage, but they can also have a ignore enemy defense debuff as well, and it's like 30 or 40%. So they kind of do like a very similar job as Bishop in terms of support, but they also have that bind. Now, when we see what types of damage they do, I mean, that's the one thing, this class also lacks in. It just doesn't do any damage. But I don't really think that is as important for the majority of people because, I think that if you're playing a support class, you're going to be playing it with relatively low funding. And even if you do fund this class, right, you don't need to fund as much IED because they have some sort of innate IED debuff. So I don't know. I think this class is just good. I mean, I think that their farming might be not as great as Bishop. Yeah, I'm just gonna put them below Bishop. Yeah, because their farming isn't as good. So I think because their farming isn't as good, they have to go below Bishop. But in terms of support, I think that they're pretty similar in terms of the value that they give. Okay, so next we got Hero. Hero, I'm not gonna lie, I think this class is kind of ass too. Um, I think it's just the fact that they're just like a really basic class, right? They don't do anything special. They don't out damage. They don't have super stance. They don't have like a lot of actually maybe they do they have super stance? Maybe they do have super stance on one of their skills, but it's just the fact that they don't do anything special, and they are a very plain and basic class. They don't have anything that makes them like above and beyond that what makes other class really good. They need attack speed +1, they need crit rate, they need a lot of resources, very similar to Dark Knight, but it's just they're very, very underwhelming. But the one thing I will say is that in certain maps, they can triple plat. That's the only good thing about them when they're farming. But other than that, like, their farming is not that good besides that one feature. If they were, training in like certain maps, like let's say for Dark World Tree, they're probably not training there optimally compared to other classes because they only really train well at certain maps. So they, their farming, I would say, is like maybe really good in some maps and it's not so good in other maps. But in terms of party support, they give 30 attack. Like 30 attack is not bad, but like if that's all you do, then that's not enough. That really truly is not enough. So yeah, just in my opinion, like this class is just not that good. If you're playing hero, they get a lot better at fifth job though, but currently in the game right now, not very good. Not very good at all. If you look at the equipment as well, the way you can tell if a class is good or bad, you just look at the price of the equipment, and if it's really cheap, that means that class is probably ass. All right. Corsair, I mean, this class for sure is the best class in the game right now, right? It's not even because like their kit is crazy OP or anything like that. It's just the fact that their damage is very imbalanced. Like the way that they balance this class, they gave them like 50 through 70% more final damage than any other class. Like I'm pretty sure someone did the math and Corsair does 50 through 70% more damage than BM. So that means that you're playing a BM with the exact same gear as Corsair. They're doing like 70% more damage than you. Like that is just bad class balancing, you know what I mean? Like they're only really good because their damage is overtuned. But they are a decent class in terms of like their kit because they have summons. That means their farming is super good. They have like dice. That means they get to level up faster. There are just a lot of different things that they have. But the one thing that makes them really broken is for sure their damage. Like it's not even a debate. This class is for sure the best one and is for sure getting nerfed. So you're playing this class right now, just know that it's probably gonna get nerfed a little bit. But I will also say a lot of people don't really like this class in fifth job. So if you're playing this class for fifth job, maybe you won't like it as much. Okay, for Buck, I think that this class is very, 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 very underrated. Um, I think that this class is one class that no one wants to play because their farming is pretty bad, and because their farming is bad, like I think that it gets a very like, oh, they feel weak because they can't really farm that well. But in bossing, they are probably one of the better solo bossers in the game, and they also have really, really good support. So like just some of the supports that they have is they have speed infusion and a lot of classes love speed infusion, right? Like Paladin would want it, Ice Lightning, Marksman, Fire Poison, Hero, all these classes want speed infusion, and Buccaneer is one of the only classes that give it right now. On top of that, they have time leap. That means they have really good synergy with some classes like Bishop. They can time leap Holy Shell. They have they have really good soul bossing because their mobility is good, their damage is good. The only thing that they cannot do is is they really just cannot farm. Like honestly, that farming is really just not that good. But in fifth job, they become one of the better classes too. So they're very, very future proof. This class is so good. I think more people should play it. Their equipment is cheap. And like I don't know, it's just their farming is bad. Oh yeah, and you can also time lead those heroes well. So yeah, that's super useful for a lot of bosses. Like in Magnus is good, and CPAP is good. Very, very good class. All right, Night Lord. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this class is really bad, but I don't know where to put them. I feel like this class is like I'm gonna put them at the top of C, maybe at the bottom of B. I mean, like, okay, I think that Night Lord is really good in some scenarios, right? Like they had to be really funded um to really shine. Like their farming gets really good if they are really funded because they can start like one-shotting stuff, right? With their marks. But I think for the majority of players that play this class, they aren't funding this character enough, or they aren't even a high enough level to really make this class very good. So that's one of the things that I think that brings this class down a lot is that you need a lot of funding to make it really good. But they also do give some support. I believe they give some IED. I'm not 100% sure on that. But they have Dark Sight. I think Dark Sight honestly makes the class like way better than other classes because I mean you look at the majority of bosses, they have some sort of mechanic that's really dumb that Dark Sight can negate. So I feel like just that alone makes them have more utility. Like the thing is, when I'm ranking these bottom classes, right, I'm also thinking like what can deal with like the bullshit on some bosses, right? And Night Lord, because they have Dark Sight, they can deal with a lot of bullshit, right? So that's why I think that they deserve to be higher than these three because these three they have a harder time dealing with a lot of bullshit that the bosses throw at you. Oh, and on top of that, yeah, they do have untouchable, which I mean not too crazy, but it does help in Damien. Let's see, frailty, curse, slows. Oh, okay, that's pretty good actually. Yeah. So they do give pretty good support. It's just the fact that they need a lot of funding, they need levels, and this class is also not super easy to play compared to some of the other classes. I don't know. I think that they're not great, but I also don't think that they're very good. They're just okay. Okay, and then last class, Shadower, for sure going right below Corsair. This class would for sure be the best class in terms of like everything, right? They have super good farming. Like their farming is, I mean, the only other class I think that has better farming is Bishop, in my opinion. Maybe Corsair, but like Shadow farming is really good. If you have good funding like me, it makes the farming so lazy. Like they can train in so many different maps. They have a summon, They have you know, just good mobility, right? So that's their farming is super good in general. And then their soul bossing. I mean, if this class had the same damage as Corsair, they would be like, above Corsair no matter what. It's just they can do every single boss in this game very, very easily compared to every other class in the game. Smokescreen is super broken. You can ignore like 90% of boss mechanics. For CPAP, for example, you can ignore the clocks on the bottom. You also get a damage reduction, so you don't get one shot. You don't get blown up by the one shot, like the full map attack. And for Lotus, you can avoid lasers being inside of the smoke screen. It's just so many different things that this class can do from smoke screen alone, right? And on top of that, they're inside dark side inside their smoke screen, so they can avoid stuff like falling platforms, any debris type, anything like that. Like, that is just really inherently OP, you know what I mean? And then, in terms of damage, their damage is super good because they get really good uptime because they get super stance on, their assassinating, which is their main bossing skill. This class can, pretty much do like extremely good uptime against bosses like Magus, against bosses like Lotus. That means that they can do those bosses, earlier and easier than the majority of other classes. So I think this class is like, for sure the it would be the best class if Corsair just didn't have that insane damage that they do right now. Oh, and I also forgot to mention that Smokescreen, for whatever reason, also gives like 20% crit damage to the entire party. So on top of that, they also have good support. So this class has everything. Like, it doesn't have one thing it's not good at. It's pretty much has everything. All right, I'm gonna see. Like, honestly, I think that this order is pretty good for the tier list. What do you guys think? Should I level my bishop or buy a pally? I mean, like, honestly, like, it's up to you. Whatever you like to play more. I think that for free to play or lower funding, it's probably better to play Paladin. You get pretty good value out of that. Yeah, I think that this list is pretty good right now. Honestly, I think that this is what I would estimate. Maybe some things can get moved here and there, but I think the general consensus is something like this is fine. All right. Let me answer some questions now. Let's see. When will the other classes come out? I feel like if they do come out with the new classes, it should be next week or the week after. It's very high probability, in my opinion. Um, Maybe NL move up to bottom of B. Yeah, I could also see that too. NL moving up to the bottom of B. Like, I think they're better than most people give them for. Because I feel like DK and Hero are the worst class, offering basically no support. True, that's true, that's true. I do agree with that as well. So yeah, maybe I would move them. Marksman should be higher. My 5k stats can do some weekly boss as my Shadow 7. So you're saying that marksman damage can do more damage? The thing is, I don't know how much damage marksman can do, but if they do like above average damage, then they would for sure be ranked higher. Because I don't 100% know how their damage is. I heard that it was really good though. Me playing a BM and DK don't feel too good right now, Mr. Stark. I mean, they will get better over time. You know what I mean? They will get better over time. Like, it just will take some balancing, and then they will get better with fit job as well. The DK has a lot of damage over BM because they have ridiculous final damage though. You know, that could be a good point. That could be a good point. It's just I also value party support as well. But if they're doing like 40 to 30% more final damage than BM, then I'd probably rather get a DK if they have the same amount of stats. I just think that DK is just a harder class to justify putting higher just because of the amount of resources that class needs. That's it. It's not you know it's not like what they perform at the peak, but also what requires them to be really good as well, if you know what I mean. Yeah, that's why I do think a little bit about the support that BM gives. The 8% crit damage is pretty nice. Will Shadower have debuffs or nerfs? I mean, I think they'll get nerfed, but I don't think that they'll nerf them that much. I'm not gonna lie. Like if they were to nerf Shadow War, I think they would just nerf their damage a little bit. That wouldn't even be like anything like too crazy, you know? Because like I think right now, if they were to do any balance changes, it should just be to buff any classes that really just don't have any damage, and then to also like nerf the ones that have fucking insane damage like Corsair. I don't think they would nerf like shadows, because like shadows, the reason why they're good isn't because of their damage alone, you know, it's because of everything else. But if they nerf their entire kit like that, then they wouldn't be balanced when Fit Job comes out, because in Fit Job, like, they're not as good as some other classes, you know. Your 45 174 BM has around 45 final damage with full beyond Leo and DK 133 with no gear, and has 95 and 134% buff. Yeah, the way that the damage calcs are works is different though. Even though like the DK might have more final damage, the scaling might be a little bit different. So they probably do more damage though. Don't get me wrong. Paladin buff when? I mean, I think that Paladin will probably not get changed at all. Like they probably won't get any damage buffs. They won't get any damage there. They'll just be the same. If they were to change anything, it would literally just be to nerf Corsair. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they just nerf Corsair. You know what I mean? DK gets inflated that window because of the way cross search works. Okay, yeah, that probably makes sense. That's what I was kind of thinking too. I know that they get some buffs from, like, they like buff duration because one buff gives them like final damage or something like that. I don't know. I don't really play DK. I just know that class needs way too much. You know, it just needs way too many resources. Many of my friends are getting ready to play Dawn Warrior. Is it really that strong? I think that Dawn Warrior will probably be it will probably be the best warrior, but it also depends on how much damage they do. I don't know how their damage is gonna be, but I think that the damage is what is gonna make them, like, really good or just good. But I think they have the potential to be a top 5 class just with their kit alone. They're the only class with an iframe, you know? They're gonna be the only class with an iframe. That's just there's just so much value in that, you know? Like it's just really fucking insane value. Don't worry has OP support, yeah. Alright, I'll look at the fucking thing right now. Can you check Manus? He can solo chaos, nor the class is very strong. I mean, I could be wrong about how strong marksman is. I just don't know one marksman that is like giga carrying everything. He's 208. This guy's pretty strong. I'll help out your friend after. Should he stick to Necrostar investments? I mean, if you're gonna, I mean, I'll look at it after, but I think that if you are, deciding to go Necro or Von Leon, you should just go Von Leon. Uh, if your goal is to only farm with, as your main priority, then I think that it's probably better to play Bishop, because Shadowers, they need good funding to make the farming super lazy. So which you're saying that you can solo, what can you solo up to this? Solo Chaos Painting, Cygnus, Chaos Akum, Heart Hilo. So you can do everything except CRA, right? Okay. I mean, the boss. I mean, they're probably do pretty good damage. They can do every boss. But I mean, even with this gear, I think I can do everything with Shadow Raw as well. Yeah, I think that they do definitely do more damage than some of the other classes with this type of setup though. Let's see. Let's see. Hard to say, no idea. Can we? Okay, I'll help your friend out, Valorant. You have 10 mil. Do you have 10 mil? Honestly, if I were you, I would just stick with the gear that you have right now, and then try to get the emblem. But you want to fix anything? Fix the pot on this, the main pot and the B pot. Get the emblem because you have a lot of items already. And you want to do anything else? Get all the items that are your accessories. Get them all to epic 6% and the B pot 2% and 10 magic attack. And then after that, you can decide to switch off to Von Leon because you already have the items. You might as well just keep it. Let's see. Should not be in Beam, I guess. I mean, it could be higher. You know, I just don't know the class that well, but I'm just telling you my opinion. You know, but I mean, they could be higher than B. They could be an A. But their kit is really good in like end game. You know, like in like versus like like the thing is if I were to rate a class really highly, they're like for damage alone, it has to be because their damage is insane. Like Corsair, right? Like if Corsair's damage was even like 50% less than it is right now, so then they would only be like 25% stronger than other classes. I don't know if I would rank them as an S tier class because they don't provide support. I think could be wrong though. Let's see. What other questions do I have? Okay, I'll reveal this one, but I want to answer this question as well. What do I think about Wind Archer? I think Wind Archer is gonna be really good. I don't know how their damage is gonna be, but their kit alone makes them more. I think their kit is better than Bowmaster and Marksman at Fort Chop. I'm just talking about like what kind of support they do. I don't know about their damage though, because they have like an air dash, they can air stall, and they have really good mobility, and they also have a puppet. So they have everything, you know. The Keep Fafnir weapon with 13 Star Force and no legendary line. Try to get to 70 star or buy 70 star. In my opinion, you should like in my opinion, you should always buy the items pre-made if they are in a really good usable spot, right? Like that claw the knuckle that you have, it would actually cost you more money to get it to 17 star and on top of that having pots and B pots. But for you to for you to make it usable, it's probably gonna cost you more, honestly. Oh, actually, I think that they changed the way that Wind Archer's Hurricane worked though. I have a Wind Archer in GMS, and they changed it like a little bit back. But if they make it so that it's the version where the Wind Archers can't move, then that's pretty annoying. That would be pretty annoying. Okay, now let me do this man's gear review. What did you ask for? You just want ask for a review, right? Let's see. Okay, I mean, honestly, right now it's just you just gotta get your gear, right? If you're gonna get anything, get the emblem and decide you want to go Von Leon or I mean, honestly, I would go always go Von Leon. So um if I were you, I would just get the emblem first, get the Von Leon like gloves and the cape, and then get the rest of your boss accessories, and then maybe you can swap over to the full Von Leon set after. But you don't have to get the Von Leon right away. You can just prioritize the accessories first and get them all to 6% or so. I just like getting the Von Leon because I feel like it's good enough to use forever. So am trying to just tell people you should just use Von Leon over anything else. It does cost more than Necro to enhance everything, but I think it's more worth it than doing the Necro. Your review, Baby Bottom is more efficient than Star Force or more potential spent on. Oh. Yeah, Star Forcing is very yeah, it's pretty fucking horrible, honestly. You can easily spend like X amount of money and just not fucking hit. But you're asking potential or Star Force, right? Let's see your stat is 8K. I mean, your secondary is pretty good. What are you missing? Okay. Yeah, right now where you're at is actually where it is correct to start pushing Star Force, you know? The only thing you can do is maybe min-max some of the stuff that is at Epic and get them to legendary or not legendary, sorry, unique. So then, like this ring and like, this bell and this earring, like those that stuff you can get to unique two line. But that's like not a really big thing compared to the other stuff that you can do, right? So yeah, I mean right now it's just get everything to unique two line and then push everything to 16 star. I mean it's ass to do, don't get me wrong, it's fucking horrible, but it's like the only thing that I can think of you to really progress. So oh the one thing that you can potentially do is you can potentially look to push this to legendary and try to get 8% crit. But you should only do this if you're not going to go Absolab. But I think Absolab is too expensive. You might as well do this. But if you're able to push every single piece of item that you have right now that is at 10 stars to 16, 17 star, you should be able to solo all of CRA very easily. Maybe not um maybe not Vellum, but everything else it should be very easy. Your pots are good. Your pots are good. Yeah, I mean, unfortunate, but you just gotta push it. But if you push yourself a little bit more and you get to level 210, you can start doing Lotus and Damien. So your gear is already good. You just gotta get some levels up too. Let me see the next person. First time catching me live. Oh, dude, like I gotta stream more. But happy to have you here. Let's see. Vandis. Not sure what to buy next, or just start funding a better bossing class next. I mean, the thing is, BM is bad. Don't get me wrong, but you can clear every single content with this class. The class is not very strong, but it's probably because of other reasons that you're not strong right now. Yeah, I'm just looking at your gear right now. It just needs a little bit of work, but um, right now the most important thing for sure is fixing this pot. The pot in this is really not that good. Try to get the main pot on this to unique or epic. I mean, I feel like where you're at, epic is fine. So just get like epic 6%, and then the B pot get it to 3%. And then since you already have all your items and you already have like decent lines on everything, I would start working on getting the accessories, and then I would also work on this weapon. Get the pot to epic, and then get the B pot to a 3% for attack. So just fix the two pots on these, and then get the rest of the accessories and the emblem. I mean, if you want to switch to a different class, then do it now because you're not actually that funded compared to, a lot of where you could be, right? Because then right now you are able to still switch. So you got to make that decision before you invest anymore, in my opinion. Now, is Bowmaster gonna get buffs? Maybe they will. I think they're one of the weaker classes, but they do get better in Fit Job. You know what I mean? You review my hero Lit Poppy just started a few weeks ago. I'm not sure what item should get next. Yeah. How to get 100% crit rate? So some of the sources of crit rate are going to be like your inner ability. Other sources are going to be like from items such as your emblem, your sub weapon, your weapon. But I wouldn't focus on prioritizing getting crit rate that way. The most consistent, or not the most, but the best resource to use is getting it from your inner ability. But it's really hard to hit from there. But other ways are through your hyper stats and your link skills. You can get, I believe, 7% from Bowmaster and Marksman. And then NFT collection gives you a little bit also. So those are some of the ways you can get it right now. What day do we have this rework? I don't know, but if it were to happen, it would probably be next week or the week after. I mean, I'm hoping that is this upcoming week, right? Will Ice Lightning be buffed as they know they can be AFK farming by using Ice Age in future? I mean, they probably won't get buffed to the point where they can just AFK farm. That will probably happen like later down the line in like fifth job and stuff like that, you know? But that's not happening right now. And that won't happen for a while. I think that they're aiming to release fifth job at the end of the year through the beginning of next year. It's probably going to be the beginning of next year though. And if were to say the beginning, it's probably like the end of Q1 next year. So probably like March or something. Okay, let me do this guy's gear review. What did you ask? You want to know what items to get. Okay. 3K stat. Uh, what level are you? 191. Okay, the first thing I would suggest you do is consider swapping off of your Unchained for Von Leon, and then just pot it to like what you have right now, 6% everything. That's the one thing I would consider doing because this is all holding you back from what you want to do from now on. The only thing that you should ever use for Unchained is to train with up to a certain point, but it does fall off really hard. Let's see. The emblem is probably your next priority. If it's too expensive, then that's completely fine. But other than that, it's just getting the rest of your accessories. Like right now, what I would do is switch off to Von Leon, get accessories, but if you can't get the emblem. Okay, let's see. Do you think Dawn Warrior will be a lot stronger than Hero? My Hero is very underwhelming right now. I think that the kit of Dawn Warrior is gonna make them better. I don't know about the damage because damage is very hard to properly like gauge, But what I will say is that their damage is gonna be like at least comparable, and they provide support. They have a bind, they have an iframe. That class is gonna be very good, just based off the kit alone. But I don't know how their damage is gonna be. I personally would rather play Dawn Warrior in fourth job, but in fifth job, Hero does become really, really good. So just keep that in mind. Like they become very, very, very good. What server do I play on? I play on Ain. I don't know how to say it. Okay. Next man's Vinkle. Yo, yo, yo. What's up? How we doing, bro? Yeah, I actually main Dawn Warrior inside of GMS. I think that class. I mean, some people say that class is not that fun, but I personally feel like it's fun. Like you are, it's like one of those classes that is like like simple to play, but like it has like some sauce. Like you can cancel some of your moves out of each other. Like it's not like anything crazy by any means, but it's that class is in my opinion is pretty good. Let's see, 3.4K. Okay. I'm just assuming that it's just all plain CRA. Okay, if I were you, what did you have any question? Let's see. Um, can you check my gear? What would you do? I have 5 mil blow. I mean, you want to be very consistent with your upgrades. It would just be looking at anything that is rare right now, right? Like your earrings, for example, get that to epic. And any of your like your other stuff. It just that's like if you want to use 5 mil or anything and you want to make it count, just get everything to epic 6%. But other than that, like your other gain is getting the ring and then getting the emblem. But your pots are like decent enough, but the emblem is probably the biggest thing that you need. Like you want to be smart about your money, you probably should just save up for the emblem. That's definitely your biggest gain because the emblem, like, yeah, it's like it does cost a lot of money, but like it doesn't cost as much money to enhance it as some of the other items. And it's definitely the one that you want to get the most. I mean, you got some pretty good inner abilities and stuff. Just gotta get some of your stuff working better. Let's see. Checked out Phantom Blade. What should I go for next? Upgrading Neopot to legendary worth it? I will check your gear, but oh, sorry, what the wrong name. How good is Nightwalker in fourth job? I think that class is going to be very good. I think that Potentially that Dawnware is gonna be the best Cygnus Knight out of the five. It's like a big potential because they provide support and a bind, but Nightwalker has the potential to do the most damage out of all of them. So that is what I think is gonna be, but I could be wrong. I think Nightwalker could end up being the best, or Dawnware could be the best. It's one of those two. I don't think the other three are gonna be as good. Let's see. What question are you? Oh, you're 215. What the fuck, bro? This guy is almost higher level than me. Wait, how do you have a 215 uh shadower? And then this is your gear. What are you asking? What should I do next? Think about upgrade Neopot to legendary. Are you talking about the Neophyte items? If I were you, I would consider potentially. Okay, I don't know what your budget is, but I would consider either Von Leon or CRAs first. Because right now, like you could upgrade the pots on these, but the pots on these are already really good. I prefer if you were to choose like a set like CRA or Von Leon first, and then decide like once you decide that, you can start working on the weapon to legendary. That's what I would do because right now, like the neophyte set is fine to use, but you're not gonna get a significant amount of damage from here on out unless you either one get some Star Force or two like just push everything to legendary. But for me, usually I tell people only push legendary after you gotten all some gear to 16 or 17 star at first, you know. But the neophyte is cheap enough where you can do that compared to like something like the Von Leon, where it is probably more cost effective to go legendary and then go 3 line usable. It's just the fact though that if you do want to progress past a certain point, then going the boss accessories is going to be better. So I would personally just swap to Von Leon and then upgrade those first, and then maybe try to get some rings. And then your parts are fine, but that's what I would do. Let's see. Yeah, I can help you if you okay, you put in your IGN. Let's see. Is the boss rotation more fun slash active? I mean, that's just very dependent on like subjective. But I personally feel like it's fun. But a lot of people think don't worry, it's not that fun. But it's really preference. On Leon set versus Fafnir set, I think that you know, for the majority of players, they should go the Von Leon set unless they're willing to shell out the money to make the Fafnir set good. Because the Fafnir set or the CRAs all they last you forever. It's just the fact that you have to spend so much money to get them to a point where they're like really, really good. And you really start to feel the damage difference too. Like when I got my weapon and all my CRA items, like I started doing stuff by myself, like all by myself, like CPAP by myself. And then I could start doing and in Lotus and doing Damien. Like the Fafnir and the CRA gives you a ton of damage. It's just the fact that they cost so much money. But if you are a free to play or you're not trying to spend that much money, the Von Leon set is completely fine to use. All right, I'll help out next man's right now. Let's see. I had dropped a gold when it was level 150. Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean you dropped a gold emblem? Oh, you sold it for what 15 mil. Wait, but the thing is that it's 15 mil right now still, no? So you can get it back. Oh, hero is quite boring. Maybe you want to play a different class because Dawnware isn't really that much more interesting. It is more interesting uh in the fifth job, but in fourth job, hero is a very boring class because they just don't have too much going on. Do you think the boss reward will be nerfed after event ends? Mm, no, because they already said that this was a system change rather than an event. It's not the only thing that is going to change after the event ends is the money is going to go down. It's this they said that it's a probability system change. So, I mean, like that's what they said. I think that they should have reeled back the drop rate a long time ago, but maybe when the fission and fusion system comes out, it'll will balance the way that the rewards are given more. I don't know. It's just the fact that right now it's like it's not very good and it hasn't been good for the past week or 2 weeks or so, and it's only getting worse. So I mean that's just something the team's got to figure out. But I don't actually know. Let's see. Sickness at the end of the month. I think it's gonna be next week or the week after. All right, let me do this guy's gear review now. Let's see what you got going on. 80 ID, 6K stat. Okay, I'm pretty sure you should change this B pot. The 9% is definitely not as, or the 15% luck is definitely not as good as 9% attack. But the 3 IED is probably not really that good, but it could make it okay right now. But let me look at your other stuff. Okay. So if I were you, what I would start doing is I would get everything that, you can get to unique, start pushing it to unique. Always go from cheapest to most expensive. And then you want to get it to like where it is right here. Let me see. The like the belt. Like so ideally you get 9 and 6 for the lines, but you can also just keep 6 and 6 like this. Like that's completely fine. Just get 2 line of your stat. That will give you some, it's not easy damage, but it is like more guaranteed. And then some of the other things I would consider doing is potentially starting to push for 3 line usable on your equipment. Um, Actually, I will look at the estimated cost right now. Okay, so you're looking for 3 line usable. Let's see. So your average is going to be about 75 red cubes. I know you can't see it, but it's 75 red cubes. So that is going to be your estimated cost for getting 3 line usable, and then as well as on the weapon. So secondary and the weapon. It's about 100 cubes for 3 line usable each. So that's around 200 red cubes. I don't know if that how much that will cost, but it sounds pretty worth it. But that's what I would try to do. You got to fix your lines a little bit. Try to get at least 3 lines of IED, and then try to get boss damage because right now you only have 1 line of boss. But whatever you hit is good enough. So just to summarize everything, I would get everything to unique and then fix the pots on everything. And then fix the B pot on this, fix the B pot on this, get this to epic. And then the B pot on this is fine. And then let me see what else you can do. You're 6K. Yeah, so after you do all that, either get the neophyte rings or you push everything to 16 star. Because your pots are actually not that bad. You just need to like push everything a little bit more and then fix the main pot on these. All right, let's see. Uh is the Fafnir set better than Von Leon's, or is it more of a situational choice? I mean, the Fafnir does give you more damage. It's just the fact that it will cost you maybe 2 to 3 times just to be able to upgrade the top, bottom, and hat. The hat is like 5 times the cost right now to enhance or pot it. And then the weapon is like 15 times more expensive to enhance the Fafnir than the Von Leon. So, it's in terms of cost to performance ratio, the Von Leon is definitely better, especially for someone that is not trying to spend as much money. I would only really recommend you hardcore push the Fafnir set if you're trying to solo slash oh sorry, you're trying to duo Lotus and Damien, or you're trying to solo it. Because the thing is, like, even with the Von Leon set, if it's all capped out, right? You can still solo and I'm sorry, you can still duo Lotus and Damien. You just need to find someone that's also cracked as well. I think that Von Leon is a very good set though, it's the one that I think that everyone should probably go if they're just trying to play this game for fun, or you know if they're a free to play player, or if they're trying to spend a little bit of money. The only time I would recommend CRA or Fafnir is if you are willing to spend a lot of money. That's it. Like you could go the plain CRA and Fafnir. Just know that it just costs a lot of money to make them more usable. That's it. I don't think it's the worst idea. I recommend people to go it. I just want to tell them like it's like the precaution of how much they have to spend to make it really good. I also like Von Leon because it's very flexible as well. You know, if you go Von Leon, you can like switch over to the CRAs like very easily. All you have to do is replace the hat, the overall, and the weapon, and then you still have 4 set Von Leon. And if you were to invest anything in the Von Leon set though, like yeah, the weapon is really good to invest in, but you feel like you're gonna drop it for a Fafnir, then you can always work on the gloves, the cape, the shoes, and I think that's it, right? Yeah, the gloves, cape, and shoes. Yeah, like, those are still good to work on, you know. Because then, like the value of items, the reason why some items cost more to enhance is the fact that they can go 17 star, right? That's why when you have items like the pink bean belt or the earrings and stuff like that, or the BBM, the reason why they're good is the fact that they can go 17 star. Let's see. I can equip another pet with you mushroom. Can I see you have to spend 2 other? I think that you can do it if you have not the free pet they give you, but the pet that you get to like buy it or some shit, or like you get it from the raffle. So you wondering why I can do it? It's because it's not a free pet. Let's see. What do you recommend for end of the train from 200? Try Black Heaven deck 1. Felt pretty slow. I mean, all the scrapyard maps aren't very good. I still think that Fest 2 is probably your best place to train in. And then it would be once you get like higher level, like 205 or so, the upper stem crossroad is probably your best, but it gets very packed there. But if you're able to one shot at Fest 2, you can train there to like 205. It just kind of boring to train there because then one is packed, so it's kind of annoying to get a map, and two, it's just you feel like you're not moving. But I think that my character, I actually trained there to 203 or something like that. You know, it's still a good map to train in. The only way to really know if it's better for you or not is to do a BA. So what I usually do is I do like a 1 minute BA just to verify that it is a better training spot. So you just look at your XP acquired, and then look at your mob count as well. Because the more mobs you kill, the more money you make. Like, even if you train at scrapyard, and let's say you make like 10% more per minute or something, if you're killing less mobs, I don't even think that's worth it because you make more money from the other map. I think that's better. But that's just my opinion. Where to get BA? I have mine's hotkeyed on 0, but you gotta just find the button. I think you can look around here too. I don't know. Let's see. Right here, they have it BA balances. You don't need to wait 10 days to transfer pets. You can transfer pets whenever you want. You just can't transfer the U mushroom. You can transfer like any of the default pets though. Like as long as it's not the like these two. Like these two you can't because they're not mintable, but these are mintable and I can use them with the U mushroom. I think it's a bug though. I don't think that you're supposed to be able to do it. But I mean like I don't know why they just don't keep it like this. It's fine, you know? Like it doesn't really matter that much. At the end of the day, it's like it's just quality of life for players, you know? Yeah, no problem, no problem. I don't think they're gonna change it though. I'm pretty sure they're gonna keep that. If we were to get any sort of like teaser or anything, it would probably be like tomorrow night, you know? So I'm really hoping that if we do get some sort of like announcement or teaser, like they make it like hype, you know. I'm like I don't want them to like make it like lame. I want them to do something like nice for the announcement. Let's see. Do I have wearing skill? Yeah, I do. I bought all of my Legion characters already. Or yeah, so I have all level 200s for every single class right now. So then that means I have all the links, you know. Still waiting for a chance for them to buff NL. Yeah, I think that if they were to buff them though, they would just buff their survivability in the early game. I think that's what they probably need the most. Wait, you can transfer pets between characters without waiting 10 days? You put it into your wallet, it's not locked? No, it's not locked. I transfer my pets like all the time. Not locked. The only thing that gets locked are stuff like your equipment. Like cosmetics and pets, they don't get locked out. I think that also maybe Night Lord damage is not as good as well, because I know one player, he's a very juiced NL and he can't solo solo Damien. Let me see if I can find his fucking account. Yeah. This motherfucker right here, he's probably the strongest NL I've ever seen. Oh, he doesn't have his items on his main right now. He's probably doing 2 main meta. But he's around like 25k stat. He has a 22-star BBM. He's just insanely strong, you know? And he says that he can't solo Damien. I'm like, bro, like this sucks, you know? Like imagine you spend so much time and effort, but you're just held back by your class, you know? Can't really do much about that. Let's see. That's such a. Wait, let's see. What are you saying? That's sick. I just got a magnet pet with fat enough from the Bitcoin event mount. I mean, okay. Like the thing is, you feel like because the thing is right now, like the way I see it is, a lot of other players also just got the magnet effect as well. So there is more supply. So like, you think that the game is gonna grow, then the price of that will probably go up. But if you think that you need that money to fund your account and character, then it's probably not the worst thing to do. But for me personally, like I like the magnet effect, and the fact that you got one for free is like pretty nice. But that's really your call to make. Dude, I mean, like, I personally, I know I can't. But also at the same time, you train at least, like, for me, for the magnet effect to be worth it, you got to train at least like 4 hours, in my opinion. Or maybe like at least 2 hours, you know? Because then the value of it goes up if you train a lot. If you don't train that much, it's useless. But I don't know, it's just good quality of life, in my opinion. Like it's always gonna be useful. You know what I mean? Like people pay $100 for the backpack alone in GMS, right? And then they pay like a perpetual $9 a month after that, something like that. So then at least I think backpack should be worth $100 like at base. But then also gotta think about like it's permanent. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard for me to say. I would personally keep it though, but that's just me. But for your situation, it's probably different. You need the funds to gear up your character. I mean, that's probably more worth it then, because then the funds is definitely more worth it. Um, and for you to like make that money with the vac pet, you would have to train a lot. So maybe for you, it's more worth it to sell it. No, I don't know if you can get a better deal though. Let's see. You use pickpocket on mobs. It's better than blood money. For me, it's better because my coins, like, they pretty much one shot. They're very close to one shotting. So then they spread more and it makes the farming a little bit better. But I mean, it just like I mean, I don't know. Even I think if it's weak, it's like pretty still worth it. But maybe it's better to use blood money if you don't one shot. But I don't know. I don't think it's like a really big difference. I just know that it's a big difference if you can like easily clear with the gold like fragments, because then it just makes the rotations very, very lazy. Is Corsair very strong? Yes, yes, very, very strong, but they're getting nerfed for sure, like almost guaranteed. You look at the marketplace, like all the level 200 Corsairs are gonna, or they're like getting listed right now, right? And like people know they're gonna get nerfed. It's like it's literally in the market. Like having a 50 to 70% more final damage than every other class is very imbalanced. So that class is for sure getting gutted. But I think they'll still be good like after the update. I just don't think they're gonna be broken. That's it. Oh, also one thing about Wind Archer. If you guys thinking about Wind Archer, their puppet skill, if you ever have done Damien in your life, it makes it so that their puppet skill can basically attract the balls away from you. So that makes them actually pretty good as like a support in Damien. Their puppet skill is better than marksman just for that alone. Level 150, what boss can I mean, you still need like gear and shit, you know? Like it's just that's not the class. Like it doesn't matter what you know, if your character's level 150, but I think like up to 150 you can do like I don't even know what bosses you can do at level 150. Maybe like Pink Bean, anything below Pink Bean. Like you can do any bosses as long as your character is funded. You know, you can't just go in with default gear and expect to clear bosses. That's not how it works. Like it doesn't matter how OP your class is. You know, you always need some sort of gear. But they do require less funding. Let's see. Any clue what stats needed to solo Chaos Pink Bean? Maybe. I mean, depends on your class, but 6 through 8K, I would say. Default Corsair can easily clear everything below. Easy Von Leon. Okay, there you go. See, I mean, he probably knows more than me. Let's see. Do you recommend to cube my accessories by myself, or should I buy cubed? It depends on what you're looking for. Almost all the time, I would recommend if you can find a good deal, right? Then you should always just buy something pre-made, right? Because you don't have to deal with RNG. That's one thing, and also you will for sure get what you want, right? For example, like for me, I want like some of my gear, I want them to be perfect. So then like this Dominator pendant, right? I bought this at 17 star, but it's double prime. So this is already pre-made. It was around 70 mil. If I were to make this myself, it would cost way more money than if I were to just buy it, right? And I also had another Dominator before, so I sold it and I just used that as a difference. So I paid maybe like 30 mil for it or something like that. I would just almost always do it, buy a pre-made, but sometimes it is hard to find a good pre-made one, you know? And at that point you just gotta buy I mean make it yourself. Let's see. Bro, I'm a free-to-play bishop. Is it okay to prioritize armor first instead of the secondary item? It's pricey for low stats. I mean, the thing is, you're not buying the secondary for the stats that it has on it. You have to upgrade it to good potential. Like you could upgrade the Star Force or whatever on the on your armor and all that stuff, but it doesn't give you as much stats as if you were to potential it. That's why I recommend the secondary. The secondary, you don't look at what the stats it gives you. You look at the potentials. But in terms of like the value that the potential gives, it gives you more value than everything else. It actually does. Like the secondary, the weapon gives you the most amount of stats. I mean, the weapon is gives the most, but not it's way more expensive to do the potentials. So I would almost always do the secondary first. Yeah, it is more expensive, but it's also an item you will use forever. It's very unlikely to get power creeped, So I mean, you're like pretty safe there, in my opinion. Can you see my inner ability? I mean, my inner abilities aren't even really good. They're actually pretty bad because then I only have 15 boss, but this is my mule. This is not my main, so I don't even care on what inner ability it has. I just need the legendary one, like the boss damage. That's it. But you want the perfect shadow one? I mean, it just depends. You need crit rate, then 20% crit rate is good. Boss or skip CD on the first line, and then on the other line, it's abnormal damage. That's those are probably the lines that you want. If you don't need crit rate, it's probably I'm not really sure. Maybe attack. Could be wrong though. Honestly, min-maxing legendary builds, unless you're like a mage, it's not super important. Like it is important if you need crit rate though. But for me personally, I don't really need to min-max it that much. Spent so many days buying honor boxes to roll my inner ability and finally got 20% boss damage. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Wait, what class were you again? You were Night Lord? Okay, I think Night Lords actually need boss damage. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's good. I mean, that's better than me. I think I have like 19%. Honestly, the 1% difference for me though, it's not a big deal. It's not like the difference between clearing a boss or not, you know? Oh yeah, just to remind everyone, next week, exactly 1 week from now, we're gonna do our sorry, the U mushroom giveaway. So make sure to tune in for that stream, and you guys have a chance to win one of them. True, true. But I didn't roll my any boss damage for until now. Oh, dude, I mean that's huge. The 20% boss damage on the inner ability actually gives you so much damage. Like going from nothing to something is very, very good. Especially like where we're at right now in the game, where there's just no forms of boss damage. Like any type of boss damage is like welcomed. Same time next week. Yeah, for me, I usually start my streams like 2 hours. So basically 2 hours ago, I started my stream. It'll probably be around the same time, and it'll be on exactly a week from now. Like if it isn't, then I'll let you guys know ahead of time. But I will make an announcement on my Discord to verify the time. So if you guys aren't in my Discord, then join the Discord and just go to the announcements. You'll know the exact time. Could you say what I should be looking for right now? My Aichin is 2 holes. Should I look to get best pot for my secondary or get the empty spots? Okay, then I'll look at your stuff. You're asking get best pot for secondary. I mean, just keep that for now. You don't really have that much money to work with. But I would start focusing on getting the rest of your equipment. That's probably more worth it for you. Yeah, that's what I would do. I mean, you can pick up like a few accessories, but the one thing you want to pick up is for sure the emblem. That's the biggest thing. Yep, yep, no problem, no problem. Next week or when we get our update, I think they should be giving out more items for Magnus as well. So they're gonna update it with probably Tyrant equipment. That potentially could shake up the uh free to play slash low spender meta a little bit. So just keep that in mind because in the beta, the way that it worked was the Tyrant equipment was very, very OP. Like it had the same amount of stats as like a starred equipment, and on top of that, you could start some more. But I'm pretty sure they're gonna change that, so it's not gonna be as broken. But the amount of stat that you get from the Tyrant equipment is good because you don't have to pot it or you don't have to star force it. So you can just leave it as like default, right? And then you can just pot it, and that means you don't have to spend any money on star forcing, and it's really good up until like a long time. So that could be a new item that shakes up the meta a little bit. Now I don't know how much they're gonna end up selling for, but if you haven't soloed Magnus yet, or you're not doing Magnus, I would try to at least get to a point in the game where you can do that boss because the rewards are going to be very fresh. That means it's very likely to have a lot of them. So you want a good chance of getting those items. Try to get to a point where you can do that boss. I mean, that boss is kind of ass to do, though. I'm not going to lie. I still think that they should, do a harder difficulty for Magnus. I think that would be way more interesting. I do I don't even know what they would call it, but it would be more interesting because right now, I mean, I'm not like at where most people are, but at the end game, right? Where I'm at, it's like there are no bosses that I am forced to party in, and I want to do more party content. So making a boss where like I am forced to do it in a party setting, it would be like way more enjoyable to do. What cube should I spam to get at least epic stat for main potential and around how many times? If you are already at epic and you're just trying to find your 6% stat line or whatever, you can use the occult cubes. But you know the main benefit of using a black cube of like rolling for that stat line is that you have a small chance to gear up. So it is more money efficient in the long run because you could potentially get lucky to get a tier up. So I usually just roll with the black cubes to find like a 6%. But if you don't have that much money, just roll with the coke cubes. It's completely fine. But I don't know the average, but it doesn't cost that much. It shouldn't be a lot on average, but that's average. You end up getting really unlucky, and it's pretty easy to get unlucky in this game. I've had so many people tell me their experience trying to get to 16, 17 star, and then it's pretty fucking bad. I when I tried going 18 star on my BBM and the pendant, I think I spent like so much money and I boomed twice. I don't know how much I spent, but I boomed twice and then I had to work my way back up and I was so upset. I was like, this is whole bad. After that, I don't know. I mean, yeah, as you guys can see, I don't try not to push anything past 18 star. It's so fucking miserable. Actually, the other day I was watching my friend. He probably didn't do the smartest thing, but he pushed Pat Mark to 21 star, and shit was crazy. Like it was pretty cheap too, and I was like, holy fuck, I can't believe he did it. It was like he went in with like 100 mil, right? And then he was like, yeah, I'm gonna try to get this 21 star, and I was like, I mean, you might end up being disappointed. And he boomed twice, but then it eventually went to 21 star, and I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I can't believe that happened. How to get more damage on your hero at level 151? Until now, no web. I mean, you want me to look at your gear? That'll probably help me out. Help me let you make a better decision. So just type in your IGN if you want a gear review. Probably at that point in the game though, it's like you probably just need to pick up like secondary or something. Should you change class? I mean, you don't like playing hero, then you can change the class. I don't know. Like the thing is that class is not that good right now, but I don't want to discourage you from playing it because it does get really good in fifth job, but fifth job won't come out until like 6 through 8, 8 through 9, 6 or 9 months probably. But you don't like playing it, you should just play a different class. Like I mean, like if you're gonna do it, you should do it early on because in this game it's very hard to switch classes. Once you are locked into a class, it's pretty rough to switch because like the hard part is getting the weapon. The weapon is just it's fucking ridiculous, honestly. Shower free to play, kill like 10k mobs in 2F, Cafe 3 and got like 125k Nessus plus how much is that? Is that per hour or how much are the rates? Because it's kind of hard for me to see like you're saying 10k mobs, but how fast are you killing 10k mobs? Or I don't know if 10k mobs is good, but you can tell me like your meso rates per hour. That's probably better. It would probably give me a better idea. 1 hour. I mean, it's probably okay at that point in the game. I don't know how much money they give at that point in the game. That's why. But for example, for me, I make in 1 hour, I make around 300 ish, three something. So like it sounds fine, but I could be wrong. I don't think you should get more than 100 something. I think it should be around around that price. Yeah. My 202 Bowmaster is losing to my 141 in every aspect. That is something. Yeah, it's just Bowmaster are kind of struggling right now. It's just that class is just I don't know, dude. It's kind of rough. My Paladin is just a great class. The one crazy thing that I don't really talk about Paladin is they have this skill or ability, or I don't know what it is, but it just lets you randomly survive like a one shot, or it takes like a crowd control for you. Like it's just I don't know how it works exactly, but like when I played my Paladin meal for my friend, I would just be like not trying to die, but like I would just tank things randomly, right? And I just wouldn't die, and I just think that makes it ridiculous. How long does it take to level up to 120? I mean, probably like I don't know. I haven't done it in so long, but it's probably a few days. Maybe like I don't know, like 5 days or something. I could be wrong though. It could be faster. I mean, you're playing the whole day. It probably takes like 3 to 4 days or something. I try to create level 130 can earn 100k. What is better than my 200 bishop with one Leo set? I just sell it and stay at level 130. Yeah, it's because the thing is the rates are probably good at that map because you're killing more monsters than if you're at level 200. Like at level 200, you need more funding to clear stuff. So no, that's pretty rough. I'm not gonna lie. That's a passive where you can block 10 hits. Oh, okay, dude. I mean that shit's kind of broken, right? I don't know. Like it just seems ridiculous. Like imagine you're playing like Hero, or I mean probably Hero, right? Hero doesn't really have good survivability until fifth job because they get an iframe, right? But then Hero, like they have to like actually play the bosses right now, and they don't. I don't know. I just think that's ridiculous. 3 days tops to 120. Yeah, other people probably have a better idea. I haven't done it in so long. I got inner ability, 16 boss damage, 18 attack. Wait, let's see. Should I swap out everything or just the magic attack since I can't one shot four monsters below me? What class are you? I don't know if those are even the most optimal because if you're a mage, then you need buff duration. But if you're not a mage, then I mean, I would just keep that. That's pretty decent. Should Chad do get more? No, no, no. It doesn't. It doesn't. Not in this game. This game, the way that the nasal passive, it doesn't work the same. Like you get the same rates as everyone else. It would be too OP if Shadowers got 20% more meso than every other class. I don't even think you should play any other class except Shad because you make way more money. You know, it just would be too broken. They would never, in my opinion, I don't think they will ever create a system where you would get any sort of buffed nasal rates. Actually, the only system I think they can potentially ever do it in is maybe they do something where like you hold X amount of NXPC, then maybe they would give you more rewards type of thing. But I don't know if they ever would. That sounds really, really broken. But I could see them doing the NXPC like you hold like X amount and then you get maybe a small percentage more. But I don't know if that's what they would ever do though. Sounds kind of OP, I'm not gonna lie. Can you make a video listing for all things supposed to do daily, like Monster Park Evo? I feel like I'm missing so much. I mean, the thing is, for me, right? I don't know what to do for the PQs and all that stuff because I don't do the PQs. You know, I don't even know like what's the minimum amount that you're supposed to do, or the maximum amount. The only thing I really know what to do for dailies is doing the flame daily, the Monster Park, and you just do your bosses. That's it. But I feel like everyone already does that stuff. I don't know anything about like the other stuff, but you know, when Arcane River and stuff comes out, then I think I can make a video on that. But I don't know about the dailies right now. I just don't know anything about the PQs. Like I have never done. I've only done the PQ for the step up mission, but that's about it. What is Flame Daily? So when you get to like level 170, 180 or so, I have a video on it, so you can always watch that video, but I'll just explain it to you right now. When you get to 170 or 180 or so, you get like the Critias like quest line you have to do. So it's like the daily Critias quest. You can do that quest and it gives you you just do that quest, right? And it gives you like a flame thingy right here. You use the flame capsule, you kill 2k mobs, and then you get one of these Ember of Lives. Then you do that for 15 days and you get one flame. But I have a video on it. You can just watch that video. It'll show you it more precisely. But it's kind of the same thing I just explained to you. But that's like the most honestly, if you're like a free to play player or a low spender, that's like the number one thing you should be doing. Because getting flames on your equipment gives you so much damage if you do all of them, right? Like it's not like a huge amount of damage, but if you do all of them, it's like the one way that you're guaranteed to get damage that is like, you know, not paying for it. You just have to do this shit every day. And it's not even like a huge like, you know, thing to ask for. It's just you just go kill 2k mobs basically. One major update, if they were to do an update, it would either be next week or the week after. I don't think it would be at the end of July. That sounds super fucking troll, but I think it should be next week. I think that if they were to do an update, it would be like they okay, if they were to do any type of update, it should be class like Cygnus Knights first, right? Like, I think they should just give us all the Cygnus Knight. They shouldn't do no like bullshit like give us one at a time. No, just give us the whole thing, and then give us the NFT what you call it, collection like buff or whatever. They're gonna buff it, and then give us new Magnus rewards. That should be in July, right? August it should be Legion, and then give us like resistance, and then Maybe give us Hard Lotus, Hard Damien. I think that's like what the bare minimum should be. I got first from Black Mage one time. What chance for this? I don't know what the odds are, but if you get it from the like the elite mobs, and that's a really good thing. I mean it's pretty rare, it's pretty rare. I get maybe 1 or 2 a week from all the training I do. So like I don't know what the odds are, but I mean 1 or 2 a week is pretty nice. As long as you train as much as I do, then you should get some. Yeah. Is it okay if I get the whole Unchained set with good rolls? Is that not worth it? I don't think it's worth it. I'm not gonna lie. I think that the Unchained set is really only worth it for training. That's it. If all you want to do is train, then just go Unchained. Like you look at like people that have Unchained set, they're almost what the I thought that was something else. They almost never are doing any of the hardcore late game content unless they are like mooching up other people. They're never the carries. You need to get like Star Force on your equipment. That's why. Like just the potential is not good enough. And on top of that, the Unchained weapon gives you like no attack compared to like Von Leon or any other stuff. So the Unchained is like very unoptimal if you want to do like later content. It's just very, very good for training. That's it. I mean, like you could clear content with it. It's just, you want to do like CRA, or you want to do Lotus and Damien, or you want to like have it scale to like Arcane River and stuff, then it's just not good enough. Like you could do bosses with it. It's just very unoptimal. You would just suffer. Like why would you enhance like suboptimal items when you can just go on Leon? It's the same shit. So I think the CRA enhancement cost will ever go down. I mean, I don't know if they would ever change the algo for that. You know what I mean? Because then they're very adamant with the system that they have right now, and the only way it'll go down is if people stop enhancing. But CRA is one of those equipment sets that are like they are best in slot. You know what I mean? They are like for sure best in slot. So I don't know if they'll go down. If anything, they'll probably like go up or either stay the same. But I mean, they've been pretty stable, I would say, in terms of enhancement, right? I haven't checked them in a while. Like the Fafnirs have been like 1.5 ish for, yeah, the Black Cubes have been 1.5 ish for like a week now. I mean, this shit is fucking expensive right now. I mean, it's expensive. There's no really getting around that. Yeah, I don't know. That's why I'm saying, like, if you're gonna go Fafnir or CRA, you like be willing to shell out some money. You spent 2 hours trying to buy the U mushroom coupon, the website won't let you. Uh, I thought that they fixed the FT problems, but I mean, you can go complain inside of the fucking Discord. Honestly, is Valiant enough to solo Sierra? Yeah, you can solo Sierra. I think like even like if you get 20 stars on your Von Leon and like get like 20 stars and shit on your other shit, you can even solo Lotus and Damien with Von Leon. Like it's definitely doable with Von Leon. It's just you just gotta push it past more. like the main thing about CRA is you get 60% boss from the whole set, right? You get 30% from the weapon, and you get 30% from the innate like like fucking bonus set, whatever the set effect. And then the other thing is you get the top and the bottom, so you get more star force and potentials. That's like the biggest benefit. Like yes, it's very very good, but you can do every single piece of content as well with Von Leon. You just have to push it farther. Well, I mean, that's why I'm saying like most people should just go Von Leon if they don't want to put out the money for CRAs. It's just CRAs, you're getting the best of the best, you know, like that though the CRAs like they pretty much last forever. Like not like the Fafnir, it does get power crept, you know, but the CRAs like the top, bottom, and the hat is it's pretty much like perma, you know, like those items are very very good forever. The only like they only recently in even in KMS and GMS, like they recently just got power crept by Eternals. And that I mean we're not getting that shit for a long time, so you know we don't gotta worry about that anytime soon. If I have a less budget, I must get pet first or weapon, sir. Von Leon is good or Zakum dagger. Get the Von Leon, but I mean they give you a free pet, right? So just use the free pet. I would only buy a pet if they gave me auto buff or it was a magnet effect. I don't think it's really worth it otherwise. Like the fatten up is like nice, but not really that worth it. The auto buff is really where the value of a pet really comes in. But if you are not trying to get on auto buff right now, then just buy the weapon. The weapon will give you more damage and it will give you more value too. So you can actually start working on stuff. You know, the pet won't really do anything for you. Wait, does the does the series really have a base limit? I mean, it's almost always gonna have like some sort of floor, you know. How much NASO for a Von Leon side? I mean, you guys gotta look up your own class and see how much it is. You know, it's different for every class. I don't 100% know, but I know that if you're playing like something like Warrior, then it's probably gonna be cheaper than you play something like a Shadow War. You know, no one wants to fucking play like hero. I looked at some of the heroes that use 2NX. You know, and I think I saw one for like 150K for a 2NX. Like that is so cheap. Also, when Corsairs get nerfed, the pirate equipment will always also probably go down too. Got lucky with the Royal Von Leon Sphere drop, and that shit was selling for 200K NATO. Yeah, exactly. If you're fucking like get any warrior equipment, then it's probably not gonna be worth that much. I don't know. It's just warriors right now. It's just not that good, you know. But I don't know how they would change them. You know, it would be really crazy if they gave like classes like custom skills. I don't think they would do this. I think that when they do the balance changes, they're just gonna tweak numbers, right? But imagine they like give like some of the classes that are really just bad, like a bind or something, you know? Like you give Dark Knight a bind, and I'm like, okay, that class is not that bad now. I don't think they're gonna do that. They're just gonna probably tweak some numbers, you know? But the issue is if they tweak numbers, you know, they have to tweak it in a way where like they tweak it, you know, they readjust it when fifth job comes out because the way that the balancing works is based off of fifth job, you know. That's why some of the classes right now are just ass compared to other classes because there's fifth job in mind. That's why when you know Shadowverse have an insane kit, but then other classes just have nothing. I mean, I want Fifth Shadow to come out right now. I'm tired of training at Dark World Tree, you know? Like, besides the fact that, you know, we get like new skills and new content and stuff like that, these maps are just not great to train in compared to like other maps. Like I don't like having only 3 viable map options for every player inside of the game, you know, that's just a very unfun type of system. It should be more diverse. And I also, you know, want there to be like more drops from monsters too. Right now, we only just get money. We should be getting more. We should I think that what they should do is they should make something like we get like these Ember of Lives, but like maybe you collect like 50 or 100 of them or something like that. And then you can also make them tradable. Like they're an FT item, and then you can claim one for a flame. That way you can actually start like trading flames and stuff like that. Right now, the only way to really trade flames is an item has a flame on it, and then you sell that item, you know? But it should be like you should be able to buy flames from other people. At least that's just my opinion. I don't know why we don't have something like that yet. But if we were to have some sort of event, we should get a flame event because it's a good event for newer players because they can benefit off that. And then for people that are like at where I'm at in the game, they can min max their flames and stuff like that too. Right now, my weapon flame is garbage, but I've thrown like 5 to 6 flames on this shit, and I've just got tired of it, so I just started flaming other stuff. I'm just tired of getting fucked by RNG, you know. Bro, I try to apply Night Lord class at level 70. It's so hard to level up. Damage not good. But yeah, that class is probably kind of ass. I'm not gonna lie. The thing is, with Night Lord, they definitely are better when they're more funded. But as I said before, like that classic bounce around fit job. Their fit job is super good compared to where they are right now. I personally just don't like the way that Night Lords move. Like I don't like how they play compared to Shad. That's why I chose Shad over Night Lord. I was gonna play Night Lord too. Thankfully I didn't. Everyone says that class is horrible or just unfun to play. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, no one has soloed Damien on Night Lord yet. But for the classes that I know has solo Damien is Corsair and Shadower. I don't know another class that has soloed Damien yet. Maybe there's someone out there that has soloed it with some sort of buying class or something like that. Or maybe another class, but I don't know. I haven't seen a video. I've only seen me myself on Damien and someone else uh Corsair. You're in love with your bishop, dude. Bishop is a nice class. It's just the solo bossing is not good, in that class. But if you love bishop right now, you're gonna love them even more when Fifth Job comes out. They really benefit a lot from Fifth Job, but when they come out with Legion, right, you get more buff duration as well. So that class just becomes way better with all these different tools. People really need to play class that meta right now. Don't follow play what class you want bullshit. You're not a whale. That's probably true, honestly. You should always just play a fucking popular class. Like even in GMS or KMS, I think it's just way better you play a popular class because okay, even if the class that you're playing is popular and they're not that good, it's just the fact that like your items are more liquid. Like it's very easy for me to find like a buyer for my dagger or like a buyer for my rings or something like that, right? Because Shadow is such a good class, that means more people play them. So that's like a huge benefit of playing a popular class. It's just easier to find items that you want and easier to sell items that you have as well. I mean, even if you are a whale and your class is horrible, like I'd be fucking mad, honestly. There's someone that spent like 20K plus on their Night Lord and they can't solo a lot of bosses. Like they can't solo Damien. So I mean that's just like a class issue. It's not really a skill issue. But I really wouldn't be surprised knowing how like Nexon has historically uh balanced like classes. I really wouldn't be surprised if they were just nerfed Corsair and then swept everything else under the rug. Because there are a lot of classes in GMS, KMS, and stuff like that are extremely outdated and like some of them just stay ass for a long time. So that very well could happen to what we have going on right now too. Because I know that if they're gonna do any big balance changes, it's gonna be when FitJob comes out, and that's just not coming out for a long time. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna call it here. Just a reminder that we are going to be doing that U mushroom giveaway a week from now. So, if you want to participate in that giveaway, then make sure to catch that stream in the next week, exactly 1 week from now. But other than that, hope you guys enjoy the stream. Catch you guys next time. So, peace out.